Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most effective long-term strategies for real estate agents, geographic farming, often simply called geofarming. In this training, we'll explore how you can farm a neighborhood to grow your business. Don't worry, there's no actual soil or tractors involved. Geofarming is all about planting seeds of relationships and trust in a specific community and nurturing them over time. So, what exactly is geofarming? It's a smart, focused marketing approach that helps you stand out in a specific geographic area. By consistently showing up with valuable information, whether through direct mail, social media, events, or door knocking, you build recognition and trust. And that trust is what leads to calls, listings, and referrals. Think of geofarming like actual farming. You pick your land, plant your seeds, and tend to them regularly. Over time, those efforts begin to grow. It's the same idea here. Introduce yourself to the neighborhood, keep delivering value, and soon enough, you'll start seeing results, leads, listings, and referrals. It's all about patience and consistency.
Before we focus on geographic farming in detail, it's helpful to know that farming in real estate can actually take different forms. Geofarming, farming by area, is one of several approaches. In fact, there are 4 main types of real estate farming that agents use. Database farming. This is where you farm your own database of contacts, your friends, family, past clients, and acquaintances. By consistently staying in touch with your sphere of influence and providing value, you cultivate referrals and repeat business. Essentially, you treat your list of contacts as a farm, keeping yourself top of mind so they refer others to you or come back when they need to move. Geographic farming. This is the one we're focusing on today, targeting a specific geographic area like a particular neighborhood, subdivision, or zip code. You concentrate your marketing efforts on that area to become the neighborhood agent. For example, you might decide to farm the Oakwood Heights subdivision and pour your efforts into connecting with every homeowner there. Demographic farming. This approach targets a specific group of people defined by some characteristic or interest rather than a location. It could be based on an age group, lifestyle, or affiliation. For instance, you might specialize in working with senior citizens in your city or focus on military families, luxury condo owners, or first-time home buyers. You identify a demographic group and tailor your marketing to their needs across whatever geography they live in. Predictive farming or circle prospecting is a data-driven approach. You use historical data and trends to predict which homeowners are likely to move soon, and you target those folks specifically.
For this training, we'll mostly talk about geographic farming, but a lot of the principles, like consistency, providing value, building relationships, apply to all types. So, let's look at demographic farming. You'll want to consider a few things. Start with the number of households, ideally at least 200. Look at the turnover rate, how often homes sell. And take note of competition. Are there already dominant agents? Finally, make sure the area's demographics align with your goals. Are the residents likely to sell? Can they afford to move? Are they in your target price point?
When you choose a geographic focus, you're intentionally narrowing your marketing efforts to one place. This makes your messaging consistent and recognizable. Over time, your name becomes familiar. That familiarity builds trust, and trust leads to business. Here's how to evaluate an area. Calculate the turnover rate. That's the number of homes sold in the past 12 months, divided by the total number of homes in the area. For example, 14 homes sold out of 200 is a 7% turnover. Anything 5% or higher is usually a good sign. It means people are moving and you have opportunities. Your goal is to get 20% of the listings, that's 2.8% of the homes sold. If you've done a great job, you should expect at a minimum 1 lead from each client. That would give you a total of 6 sales. Let's do the math. 6 homes sold at an average of $400,000 equals $2.4 million, or an income of $72,000. That's a pretty good ROI. A popular saying in real estate is work where you live and live where you work. If you farm the neighborhood you reside in, or a place you know intimately, you have some built-in advantages that others don't. Think about it. You already have a passion for your community, and you understand its quirks, culture, and amenities on a personal level. That intimate knowledge shines through when you talk to neighbors or when you write about the neighborhood in a newsletter. Your genuine love for the area can be a strong asset in convincing people you're the right agent for them. Also, if you live there, you have daily visibility. You bump into neighbors at the grocery store or while walking the dog. You can quickly put on your real estate hat when someone mentions they're thinking of moving. Competitors from outside the area simply can't match that personal understanding and presence. Additionally, working in your own neighborhood is convenient. Now, this doesn't mean you can only farm where you live. You can absolutely farm another area, maybe one you aspire to break into or an area where you have strong connections or history. In summary, choosing a farm that you either live in or know well gives you a head start. It's like having richer soil to begin with. You're seen as an insider and a neighbor, not just a salesperson. So definitely consider your own backyard as your farm. You'll speak with more credibility and enthusiasm, and that makes your farming efforts much more authentic.
Now that we've covered selecting a farm and the importance of local knowledge, let's shift into action mode. How do you actually farm an area? One proven method, and the core example in this training, is through direct mail campaigns like sending postcards and newsletters. So let's dig into how to use direct mail effectively to cultivate your farm.
One of the classic and most effective tools for geofarming is direct mail. Yes, good old postcards and newsletters sent through the mail to everyone in your chosen neighborhood. In this digital age, sending physical mail might seem old-fashioned, but here's the truth. Direct mail still works, especially in real estate. Why? Because people actually check their mail. Think about the residents in your farm. Every day, they likely walk to their mailbox and at least glance at each piece of mail they received. If you consistently send them something eye-catching and valuable, they will start to recognize your name and brand. In fact, direct mail often has a higher response rate than email or online ads. How many marketing emails did you delete today without even reading them? Probably a lot. But a well-designed postcard can grab someone's attention as they sort through their mail. It's tangible. They can hold it, pin it to the fridge, or show it to a spouse. Some studies have shown that direct mail can get response rates several times higher than typical email marketing. So don't underestimate it. Postcards and newsletters can be powerful farming tools when done right. Why does direct mail work? Because it gets seen. People check their mail daily. A strong postcard with helpful info stands out, and when sent regularly, it reinforces your brand. Consistency and quality are the key ingredients. Get it right. Frequency is crucial. It's a long game. You can't send just 1 or 2 mailers a year and expect to become the neighborhood expert. You need to show up regularly. A good benchmark is to aim for at least 12 mailings in 12 months, essentially, something hitting their mailbox about once a month. Why monthly? Because repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity breeds trust in marketing. If homeowners see your name and face every single month, by the end of the year they'll know who you are even if they've never met you in person. This consistent rhythm reinforces your message and keeps you top of mind. It's like those seeds we planted. They need regular watering. Each mailing is a gentle reminder. I'm here, I'm active in real estate, and I'm ready to help you. Over time, that consistent presence can make you seem almost like part of the community scenery. Your mailers become expected and maybe even welcomed if they provide good info. Commit to the long term with direct mail. It might be month 8 or 9 before someone finally calls you from your farm area, but if you had stopped at month 5, you would have lost that opportunity. So plan your budget and schedule for a full year at minimum. Geofarming is a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so you're mailing monthly, but mailing what exactly? The content of your postcards or newsletters is what will make people actually read them or decide to toss them. Information matters a lot. Each piece you send should offer something of value, something that either educates, informs, or even entertains the recipient. People are busy. They'll give you a few seconds of attention, And in those seconds, they'll decide if your mailer is worth reading or if it's junk. Make it worth it. Here are a few effective layouts. Some agents like photo-heavy designs. Others go for more text. Either way, your layout should be clean, on-brand, and focused on delivering value. It should feel like something worth keeping. And importantly, always include a call to action. Providing great info is fantastic, but you also want to gently remind people that you're available to help them with real estate needs. This could be something like, call me for a free home valuation, or visit my website to see what your home could sell for, or email me if you have any questions about the market. It doesn't need to be a hard sell. Just make sure every mailer invites them to take some next step if they're interested. Otherwise, they might enjoy your nice postcard and then forget to reach out when the need arises. Quality matters too. Make sure facts and figures are accurate. Double-check your data. Use a clean, professional design with good visuals. If design isn't your strong suit, consider using templates or hiring a professional designer for a polished look. A well-designed mailer with useful content shows that you're a professional who takes your work seriously. A sloppy or generic-looking mailer, on the other hand, can hurt your image. Remember, your mailer should reflect the level of quality and service you provide as an agent. If it's sloppy or flimsy, people might assume your work is the same. So put effort into crafting something that stands out and provides real value.
When it comes to physical mailers, size and format make a difference. You want your piece to stand out in the stack of mail. One tip: don't go too small with postcards. In fact, a postcard smaller than about 6 inches by 11 inches is likely to get lost or overlooked. It's easy for a tiny card to get shuffled in with flyers or tossed without a glance. Instead, opt for a larger postcard, like a 6-inch by 11-inch jumbo postcard or even an 8.5-inch by 11-inch newsletter or flyer. The larger size immediately makes your mailer feel more substantial and harder to ignore. Picture a typical day's mail: some bills, a couple of letter envelopes, maybe a grocery coupon booklet, and then a big, glossy 6 by 11 postcard with a beautiful home photo and bold text. The eye is naturally drawn to that bigger piece. It also gives you more room to include all the good content we just talked about, market stats, tips, etc., without it feeling crimped. Yes, it might cost a bit more in printing and postage to send a larger piece, but if a small, cheap mailer ends up in the trash without being read, that money is completely wasted anyway. Our goal is to get noticed and read. So, budget for the larger size. It's an investment in making an impression. Think of it as getting a billboard in their mailbox instead of a postage stamp.
To be clear, an effective postcard should instantly tell the reader who it's from, you, the local real estate agent, what value they're getting, the info or benefit you're sharing, and what they can do next, contact you, etc. If any of those pieces are missing, take the time to add it in.
In addition to or instead of postcards, many agents use newsletters as part of their farming strategy. A newsletter is usually a one-page, front and back, or multi-page mailer that allows you to provide a bit more content than a postcard can. Newsletters give you more space to educate and connect. Include stats and updates, helpful articles or checklists, personal notes, testimonials or success stories. You can also add a cover letter for that extra personal touch. The goal is to feel useful, friendly, and trustworthy. Because it's a newsletter, you can be a bit more conversational in your writing. It often starts with a greeting like, "Dear neighbors," and maybe a paragraph from you personally. This is a great place to let your personality shine. You might share a short story or insight. "When I moved here 5 years ago, I immediately fell in love with." A newsletter can feel like a small newspaper about the neighborhood, with you as both editor and sponsor. A newsletter is a great place to show you're the market expert and forget your call to action.
Just as important as doing the right things is not doing the wrong things. There are certain mistakes in geofarming, especially with postcards, mailers, that can waste your time and money and even harm your reputation in the farm. We call these the never-never scenarios because you never want to do them. This is an actual postcard we received. Everything is wrong with this. Wrong neighborhood. It was a rental, ineffective size, info misaligned, just sloppy.
In essence, don't waste your time, effort, and money on lazy or misdirected marketing. Each of the never mistakes above can undermine your farming campaign. Instead, put that energy and budget into doing things the right way. Never waste your time, effort, and money. Be extraordinary. By avoiding these pitfalls, you ensure that all the work you do put in has the maximum chance to pay off. We've covered a lot of ground, so let's quickly recap the key points of geofarming. Geofarming defined: a marketing strategy where you focus on a specific geographic area or defined group of people and consistently provide value to build your brand there. Over time, you become the top-of-mind agent for that area. It's all about targeted, persistent presence. The farming mindset: like a farmer, you plant seeds and patiently nurture them. In real estate terms, you introduce yourself and keep in touch regularly, knowing it takes time to see results. Patience and consistency are vital. You're in this for the long haul, cultivating relationships season after season. Types of farming. There are different ways to farm. We discussed 4. 1. Your own database/sphere. 2. A geographic area. 3. A demographic group. And 4. Predictive or data-driven targeting. Many principles overlap, but we focused on geographic farming as a prime example. No matter which type, the key is focus and consistent touches. Choosing a farm, be strategic. Pick a neighborhood with a manageable size, not too small, not too big. Check the turnover rate, around 5% plus ideally, to ensure enough sales happen there, and gauge the competition. Less is easier for you. Also, choose a place that fits your style and where you can genuinely connect with people, ideally where you live or areas you truly understand. In short, find a farm that has good potential and where you'll enjoy becoming the local expert. Working your farm. Direct mail example use tactics like direct mail to reach people consistently. We talked about sending postcards and newsletters as a cornerstone example. Do it frequently monthly so you stay top of mind. Provide valuable content in each mailing, market updates, tips, local news, so people actually read and trust what you send. Use a noticeable format, big postcards or well-designed newsletters, so you stand out in the mailbox. Include a clear call to action and your contact info prominently. Make it easy for interested folks to reach you. Keep your branding consistent across mailers and make it personal and relevant to the neighborhood. It can be incredibly rewarding in the long run. Many top agents will tell you that their farm is their bread and butter. After a couple of years of diligent farming, they get a steady flow of business without having to chase leads in the same way they did before. You become the hunted instead of the hunter because your farm contacts come to you when they're ready. So hang in there and trust the process. Stay enthusiastic and keep providing value even if the response is slow at first. Real estate is very much a relationship business, and relationships aren't built overnight. But once they are built, they can fuel your success for years to come. Now it's time to put this into action. Choose your farm, make a plan, and start planting those seeds. Stick with it, adapt as you learn, and don't give up. Sooner than you think, you'll start seeing those sprouts of success, a call here, a listing there, and eventually a thriving business that you grew from the ground up. Good luck and happy farming. You've got this. Go out there and grow your real estate business.